Around the Department of Defense this week. This is your DoD Weekly News Recap.
This fun fact will put a spring in your step. I'm Marine Staff Sergeant Jen Martinez. Did you know daylight savings time was once known as wartime? In America, daylight saving time was signed into law on March 19, 1918. It allowed for additional daylight hours to be added into the day to help save energy costs during World War I. The law also established the 5 time zones we now know. It was repealed when the war ended. Congress implemented a national daylight saving time when World War II began to help conserve fuel and promote national security and defense, which is why it was nicknamed wartime. When the war ended in 1945, they repealed the law again. Today we spring forward on the second Sunday in March and fall back on the first Sunday in November. So if you've ever wondered, why do I gain an hour, or why do I lose an hour, now you know. The Department of Defense sent a proposal to Congress for the creation of the U.S. Space Force. The proposed 6th branch of the Armed Forces would fall under the Department of the Air Force, like how the Marine Corps falls under the Department of the Navy. If passed, the proposal will allow the Space Force to organize, train, and equip military and civilian members for space operations. It will also provide vital capabilities to joint and coalition forces in and out of peacetime. 2 U.S. combatant commanders testified at a hearing of the Senate Armed Services Committee to review the defense budget for the next fiscal year. Army General Curtis M. Scaparrotti discussed great power competition as a focus of national and overseas security and the growing terrorism threat in the European region. He also emphasized that the strong relationship between the U.S. and its allies is indispensable in addressing these growing threats. Army General Stephen R. Lyons added that the U.S. Transportation Command will reform programs to help service members move from one duty assignment to the next. Lyons said this reform will improve the quality of life for the men and women of the armed services.
Our most important resources are people, and we owe them better. So in consultation with the service secretaries and the service chiefs, and on behalf of the department, Transcom is leading an initiative to restructure our relationship with industry in an effort to improve quality, capacity, and accountability.
U.S. European Command deployed a Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System to train U.S. and Israeli forces under the Dynamic Force Employment concept. THAAD is the most advanced integrated air and missile defense system in the world, and this deployment readiness training demonstrates that U.S. forces can respond quickly to any threat, anywhere, at any time. U.S. forces will work with Israel to practice and refine operational procedures for augmenting Israel's existing air and missile defense architecture. Captain Marvel hits theaters this weekend. Actress Brie Larson visited Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada and met female fighter pilots to research her role as Carol Danvers. Larson said it was exciting to hear some of the groundbreaking accomplishments women have made in the military, and she hopes girls who see the film will see that they can fly too. The Air Force's B-1 and B-2 bombers, F-16, F-22, and F-35 fighter jets make cameos in the film, and you'll see a few United States airmen in roles as extras. That's your DoD News Weekly Recap. I'm Marine Staff Sergeant Jen Martinez. You can find more stories about your military at defense.gov and by using hashtag KnowYourMil.